Hey guys, welcome to UofT, not UofTers. We're going to be taking you around the university today and telling you everything you need to know. First, let's start off with some study places that can help you study and grind throughout the semester. We prefer these underrated study spots in IC, which are very quiet and there's less people here. The only bad part about it is you don't get to book these rooms, so people can just walk in and turn it into a Drake concert.
BV is a space located on the 4th floor of the Bladen Wing. BV is practically the perfect place to study if you're trying to group with friends because there's so many tables here. But I will warn you that it gets pretty loud here, so you're gonna need some headphones or something. And also, I'll guarantee you that if you were to measure the sound in this place, it probably is never under 80 decibels if it's a normal school day, so be aware of that. You know, I still don't know why BV is called BV, especially since it's in the Bladen Wing, but whatever.
Highland Hall is one of the newest and fanciest buildings at UTSC. It has many study spaces on its first floor, but it also has some low-key spots on the 4th floor, so make sure you check them out. I don't really know if I should be giving this away though, because then I can't study somewhere, so do we really need to put this into the video?
Yeah, go ahead.
This is quite a controversial topic, but we've heard this specifically from professors and TAs, that they usually want a specific average every single year. And that average usually ranges from 65 to 75%. And once again, the name UofTers shows up again. Some people actually think that it might negatively impact your mark. That hasn't been the case for me. For the most part, bell curves have actually helped increase my mark.
A terrible part about this grading practice is that if the class scores highly on one examination, the professor might make the finals really hard in order to balance out the marks. But don't worry about this. If you do well by taking your time and going through all the content and being very thorough, you're going to do well on every single assessment and pass the course with flying colors. Getting a good GPA at UofT is said to be one of the hardest things a student could ever hope to accomplish, hence the name UofTers. But it really isn't as bad as what people say. Getting a good GPA is arguably harder at UofT compared to other universities and is based on what program you're in. But really, the key to success is one simple thing: time management. If you're able to stay on top of your work and all of your assignments, you're guaranteed to do well at all costs.
As you can tell, there are major differences between UofT campuses. UTSG and UTSC are very different. UTSG is what most people think of when they think UofT, where they think about prestige and all these big buildings that are super old. But at UTSC, there's this really tight-knit community that you can really not see at UTSG, where it's quite depressing. UofT is a commuter school, which means that most people don't actually live on campus. This means that social life won't be as much fun as it is in other universities like Western and Laurier. But this doesn't mean you can't make any friends. We make friends on campus just by going to classes. The classes here are much more smaller because it's a small tight-knit community, so that is beneficial when you're making new friends and more contacts. For all of you that love playing sports or spend hours on end at the gym, UofT has some excellent facilities.
The Pan Am Center has a bunch of different facilities, like the Olympic-sized swimming pools, the NBA basketball courts, and much more. You can even have a chance to train with an Olympic athlete because they do come here and practice sometimes. Also, if you want to avoid some of the crowds, make sure to come in the day or the night. There are literally thousands of clubs on campus, and this is virtually a club for anything you're interested in. For example, if you want to help out the homeless, you can join a club called Blankets for TO. And there are also a bunch of department clubs that you can join that are specific to your majors. For example, if you're trying to major in business, there's a club called Bridge that you can join, and it teaches you all about stocks, analytics, and more about business research.
What's more is that students are really enthusiastic here. So if you're trying to make friends, just join a club. You might have heard that UTSC people aren't friendly, but as long as you make an effort, it should be completely fine. A place you really need to know about, a store that's very important to UofT, is the UofT Bookstore. You'll be buying all your textbooks and a lot of programs for a lot of your courses here. For example, MTuner and Top Hat. But a lot of these resources may not need to be bought. Beware of the store though, because there's bottles ranging from $8 to $80.
Mental health is something every student should value. And if you're feeling stressed out, that's why you should enjoy some of the fresh air outside at UTSC. Here's this trail that we're on. That's probably one of the best places for you to do that. This trail is the best for making some memories with your friends and just enjoying the nature. So feel free to come out here if you're ever feeling stressed.
If you're hungry, there are tons of places on campus for you to eat, from Tim Hortons to UTSC's own food court. There are cuisines from all across the world. Our personal recommendation is the burrito bowl.
Here's something that a lot of you may be wondering about: the professors. When we were first years, we thought that the professors may be intimidating, rude, not thinking about what the students want, but it was actually the opposite. When I reached out to professors during office hours and meeting them in person, they were actually very nice. They actually care about students and they want students to do much better in their courses. So my advice for everyone coming to UofT would be to reach out to them during their office hours and talk to them and get to know them so that you can get more advice to do better in your courses.
The UTSC library is a great place to study, and it also has a bunch of amazing features that are going to enhance your studying experience. First of all, it has a maker studio that includes a 3D printer so you can learn how to CAD so you can design your own items. It also has a bunch of different private rooms where you can work together with your friends and partners on projects. And above all, if you like dark rooms and mediocre Wi-Fi, this place is perfect for you.
The last thing we want to mention is the Registrar's office. Everyone needs to know about this because they deal with many things, including scholarships, financial aid, T-cards, and graduation. You can always walk in, but there might be a line, so you can book online. So we'll leave a link below.
And that brings us to the end of the video. We hope this video helps you understand how amazing this university is. If you are deciding on picking this university, we hope to see you soon. And please make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon.